Casey's Audio Vault.
Steve Bays from Hot Hot Heat.
October 1st, 2010.
To ring back while we connect your call.
That's life. That's life. That's what all the people say.
Hello?
Hello, is this Steve?
Speaking.
Steve, it's Casey from Power 97 in Winnipeg.
Hey, how's it going?
I'm doing okay. How about you?
I'm awesome. I just in the Toronto airport.
How's the airport?
Oh, well, I was so excited because I found this little speaker that I've only been able to find in Europe. And then right as I was about to buy it, they said that I have to be traveling to the U.S. to use it. But it's like this tiny little speaker. It's the size of like a Timbit, but it's so loud. And it charges with USB, and I had it for ages, and we rocked it backstage constantly to like listen to music or whatever. And then I left it in a hotel, and now I'm just heartbroken.
So you plug this into your iPhone?
Yeah, you just plug it into your phone, and I just can't believe how loud it gets. But anyway, they won't sell it to me because I'm not traveling to the U.S., and I'm just heartbroken at the moment, but life goes on.
That's total BS.
Well, and it's just a symbol of the ongoing experience that we all go through on tour, which is losing everything constantly. Just like your favorite clothes, your favorite gadgets, your wallets, it's just how it goes.
Are you a pretty organized band, or are these losing things as a result from being disorganized? I'd
say we're surprisingly organized for a rock band, but somehow there's like once a week at least there's always one thing,
Well, I left my...
And also, things get stolen too, which is always a bummer.
I left my favorite pillow and medicine hat once, and I have yet to forgive myself.
Oh, see, that's happened to me too. The memory foam, I bet, right?
Yep. And those aren't cheap.
Yeah, because they're not cheap, and they're so nice. And once you get a taste of the good life, it's impossible to give it up. And then, I left it we've all lost our memory foam pillows at some point.
So when's the flight?
Not till 1, so we're good. No, got another half an hour or so.
All right, and then you're coming. Did you have a show tonight, or is it just Pyramid here in Winnipeg tomorrow?
Actually, we have tonight off, which is awesome. We played the Casby Awards yesterday. Do you know about that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and that was awesome. It was only 2 songs, but it was really good reception, and we didn't win the award, but it's okay. We're kind of getting used to that, so
it would be nice to take one home, though.
Oh, totally. Yeah. I mean, we've been nominated for a couple Casbys, a couple Junos, but I don't know. I think something about being a West Coast band. It's the East Coast bands always win.
Yeah, well, Toronto is the center of the world.
I know. You would think that's what it was supposed to be, but yeah.
So do you guys usually take a van out on the road?
We're in a van, and we actually just got a new trailer, and it's like this brand new, beautiful big trailer. And then like within like 2 days, somebody hit and run our trailer and just like smashed it all up. And so we did some undercover work and found, because our guitar player saw this happen in Austin, Texas, and he's like, "Oh man, the guy looked like he was like 19 years old and drunk." And I think I got his license plate number. So long story short, after we played the show, and we talked to the police, and they're like, honestly, there's nothing we can do about it. I mean, we have the phone number belonging to this license plate, and so I managed to get the phone number from this cop, and at 4 in the morning I called, assuming that it was the mom, the mom's car, because the kid apparently looked really young.
Mm-hmm.
And I just called and freaked on this woman. Just went completely ballistic. And I think we scared the crap out of her. And she's offered to pay for it. So it actually was her son's doing. And now they're fixing our trailer, which is cool.
That's great. You didn't have to even call Dog the Bounty Hunter.
Right, exactly, yeah. I mean, the thing is, it's like there's always these like little dilemmas every single day. And, the next day you pop a tire, or, the next day, I know last time we were in Winnipeg, actually, we we went to this bar, and the bouncer, I don't know, didn't like me or whatever, and he was like, "Oh, can I talk to you outside?" I was like, "No." This guy was definitely on steroids or something. You could just see the aggression in his eyes. And he tried to pull me outside, and I was like, "Oh God, this is bad." And I just like turned around, and then next thing I knew, I was in a headlock, and he was dragging me outside. And then Paul from across the bar somehow saw it at the last second as he was choking me out, and ran up, pushed the guy off me, and then all of a sudden there was 4 bouncers on him. They grabbed his hair, yanked his head down, and it was like literally 4 bouncers just punching his head repeatedly. And then our tour manager somehow talked him off of Paul, and it was resolved. But every day there's always something weird like that. You know what I mean?
Well, hopefully things go better tomorrow at the Pyramid here in Winnipeg.
Oh man, yeah, in a perfect world, but yeah, I know we're looking forward to play. I mean, playing like every time we played Winnipeg, it seems to be pretty fun. So,
do you guys usually eat well on the road, or is that more comedy of errors?
No, we're pretty big food guys. I'm not as much of a foodie as the other guys, but our bass player and our drummer both are, avid cooks, and so they're constantly critiquing food everywhere we go and finding, like, in San Francisco at Sam Wo's, you got to go to this one Chinese food place after 2 a.m., blah, blah, blah. They know all the ins and outs. And there's actually a Anthony Bourdain quote inside our CD that Paul insisted on putting in.
Well, you're touring in support of Future Breeds. Did this one take you a little bit of time?
To make the album?
Yeah, to record. I just had a look on the Wikipedia page. It said it was from 2008 to 2009 and then released 2010.
Oh, yeah, I really got to look at our Wikipedia page. I don't know if it's outdated or what. I mean, could be completely wrong, but basically the story with this album was I wanted to just go completely DIY and do everything ourselves. Like, we've worked with, everyone from Rick Rubin to Butch Walker, you name it, and we've probably experimented with them at some point. But I just felt like, even though they're all great people, and, well, not all of them, but most of them, and they've all got a wealth of knowledge, I just felt like I needed to make this album myself. So I just spent like a year learning how to engineer and stuff, and just kind of taught myself how to do it. And then we spent the next year basically making the album. And I think it's the coolest sounding record we've done. I mean, it's definitely less polished, but I think it's like the heaviest and thickest and warmest sounding album we've done. Did
you build a studio?
Yeah, just literally did everything from scratch. And it's a surprisingly underwhelming reaction. We asked to leave our label. I built a studio, learned how to use it, self-produced the album, and people are like, cool. I think all people really care about is the final product. But the reaction's been really good to the album. This has been actually the first album where people have really said to me that they like the sound of it. Whereas before, I think it was just more about the songs, less about the production.
Did you have a sense of accomplishment after doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's easily this album. I mean, to me, is probably one of the biggest achievements I've done in my like personal spare time. Since the band started, just because it's hard to tour and write an album and stuff like that. So they're like on the side, kind of try and do anything else is tough. And then also while we're touring, we're trying to film a lot more and document a lot more. And we're so we've on our website we have a bunch of tour videos, and we have a bunch more that are about to go online any day. And then also we've made, although 3 of them are pending and are not going to come out for a couple of weeks, we made 7 music videos for this album as well.
Holy crap.
Yeah, so it's just kind of like, it's more just about like wanting to create like a creative infrastructure where we can just do what we want whenever we want, you know. And so we, you know, managed to keep the overhead low enough that we can, you know, keep the studio open all the time, and we make the videos with like our close friends who are, you know, they're learning and we're learning all at the same time. And it's like, it's not just about the end product, it's also about how you, like, what are you learning and how are you becoming like a better creative person while you're doing it, you know.
Have you bought any new records lately?
The new Walkman is really good. We're huge fans of the Walkman. That's really good. I know the other guys are digging the new Arcade Fire. I'm not quite as pumped on it, but I think it's really good. What else have we been listening to? This band from Toronto called Monster Truck. What else? Yeah, I don't know. We've been listening to a lot of comedy in the band, to be honest. The new David Cross album is awesome. And then there's this podcast, the Comedy Death Ray podcast, and they just interview all sorts of comedians every day or every week or whatever. That and the 60 Minutes podcast is great, too.
Well, tomorrow you've got some competition. Well, for a comedian, Norm Macdonald is in town.
Oh, no way. And isn't he local to Winnipeg?
He's definitely Canadian. I thought he grew up in Toronto, but maybe he has got further connections going back. But
okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Well, yeah, I think a promoter just flew him in, and they were fans and got him here. So it's Norm Macdonald tomorrow night and hot heat at the Pyramid.
Oh man, nobody's going to come to our show. Everyone's going to be at the Norm Macdonald show.
Well,
it's actually we've had this whole tour has been plagued with insane competition, but the attendance has been great every night, so it's been okay. Like our show the other night was Tokyo Police Club, and the Arkells were playing like right down the street, and we were like, oh god. But it ended up being a great show, and then Tegan and Sarah were playing the same night as us in Vancouver, but it ended up being a great show anyway. So, I mean, Hey Rosetta's on the bill as well, and they're great. And Rich O'Coin is kind of a new up-and-coming, I don't know what he classifies himself as, but it's like DJ / synth player / like video, and it's like a whole big performance with like balloons and confetti, and it's intense.
Well, I'm sure you'll pull a crowd at the Pyramid. Steve, thank you very much for taking some time out, waiting for your plane in Toronto. Hot heat tomorrow night at the Pyramid. Thanks again.
Awesome, man. Good talking to you.
All the interviews you want on iTunes and at Power97.com. Casey's Audio Vault.
Casey Norman is Power 97's music director and can be heard every weekday from 2 till 6 in Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada.
Power 97 is Winnipeg's best rock.